Good day, everyone. So, still we are in the lessons, approaches, strategies, and techniques in teaching. Now we're in the part two of our discussion, and our lesson for today is all about strategy. So, what is a strategy is all about? The concept comes from the Greek word strategos, a general word or who devises war plans in order to win. In doing this, the general identifies several steps or procedures to be used. It is equated with method because method, as defined in the dictionary, is a planned way of doing something which consists of specific steps to be followed in order that the predetermined objective is attained. While approach is prescriptive, strategy or method is procedural because it consists of specific sequential steps to be followed. Strategy is generally categorized into two types: expository and enabling. A teacher may either use one type depending on his purpose or situation, but the latter should be given more weight. A method or strategy that a teacher uses is categorized as either expository or enabling. The school head and subject supervisor should readily know what type of strategy a teacher is using and whether it jives with his objectives or not. A brief explanation of the two general strategies follows. Expository. Expository strategy. Another term used for this is the information giving strategy because the teacher is the main source of information. Some examples of this strategy are lecture, lecture demonstration, demonstration, film showing, handout method, and dictation. The chief advantage in using this strategy is that much information is taken up by the students. Essentially, this strategy is used if the materials to be used by the students are dangerous or delicate, when the subject matter is very difficult, and when the students are pressed for time. On the other hand, its chief disadvantage is that the creativity of the students is not developed. So that is expository strategy. Kung madami siyang kailangan matutunan, you can use expository strategy. Like for instance, meron tayong mga literature or mga kwento. Yan. Pwede kang gawa ng expository by providing them handouts. Pero, when it comes to creativity, hindi masyadong nade-develop nito ang bata. For another one, we have enabling strategy. For the enabling strategy, this is also called the heuristic strategy. It uses strategy. The students are the ones who look for the answer to the questions they themselves have formulated. In using this strategy, the teacher acts as facilitator of learning or the director of learning. Accordingly, its advantage are students' creativity are developed. It is a dynamic type of learning activity, and the students are active participants in the teaching learning process. On the other hand, its only disadvantage is that it takes a long time for the students to finish a unit of study because of the various processes to be undertaken by the learner. However, its advantage for outweighs its disadvantage. Some example of enabling strategies are inductive, deductive, case study, project method, survey, participatory method, experimenting field trips, questions and answer, simulation, role playing, debate, dramatization, analysis, oral history method, supervised study textbook method, game, modular method, and many more. Again, strategy and methods is categorized into either simple strategy and complex strategy. The former refers to those strategies which do not have defined steps, like analysis strategy, picture study strategy, comparative strategy, and others. In this connection, it will be incumbent for the teacher to make his own steps. For instance, in the case of the analysis strategy, the step that follows may be done: motivation, presentation of chart or whichever it may be, analysis of the chart, summarization, application if needed, and evaluation. In this example, the steps are specified by the teacher himself, which can be done also with a picture study and comparative study. On the other hand, in the case of complex strategy, the teacher does not need to identify steps because these are already given, inherent in this strategy. Example, the inductive strategy. The steps are defined such as motivation, presentation, comparison and abstraction, summarization, application, and evaluation. Another example is the project method. The given steps are proposing, planning, executing, presenting, and evaluating. Another example is the lecture strategy and its steps: preparation, presentation of the lecture, summarization, application if there is a need, evaluation. Still another example, in order to make it very clear, is the scientific or problem-solving strategy method. Its steps are well defined as follow: motivation, statement of the problem, statement of inference or hypothesis, gathering of data, verification of inference or hypothesis, forming conclusion, generalization, application, and evaluation. There are so much strategies that we can still use, like differentiated instruction, wherein you can use different kinds of strategies in one subject, contextualization, and localization. Under contextualization, we have localization and indigenization. If you localize some of the lessons that are situated in your area, then much better. If you do indigenization, which is also allocated in a specific indigenous area, so that will be better strategy so that students will connect from their lesson to their real life situation. Now let's proceed to the technique. Technique. At times, this concept is used interchangeably with method or strategy. Akala nila pareho. This is wrong notion. At times, conflict and even quarrel among teachers and school officials ensue because of how to clearly delineate technique with strategy. As a general rule, technique refers to the actual act, including all the manipulations of instruction, including the use of devices and the principles in teaching to effect proper teaching. Learning. Simply stated, it refers to the way by which the teacher performs every step of the lesson. For instance, in motivating the lesson, one teacher may do it by using a beautifully made picture. Another one may do it by just telling a story, accompanied by the body language. Another teacher may do it in a lively way. And still another may motivate the lesson in a very dry manner. Another example is holding a picture. One teacher may hold a picture up and it may even be covering his face. Another will put the picture on the table by using a picture holder. And still another one will place it in a plastic picture holder and have it hung at the center of the blackboard for everyone to see it. And this connection, which of the teacher has the best technique? Certainly the third teacher. As earlier stated, approach is prescriptive, strategy is procedural, and now technique is stylistic or personalistic in nature. Why? It is because no two or three or more teachers are the same in their technique of teaching. They may be using the same method, but the manner by which they manifest skills is organized in organizing and utilizing the materials and devices for the lessons vary from one teacher to another. This includes their gestures or body language. By and large, good techniques are generally acquired and mastered by the teachers through years. Usually, outstanding senior teachers have good techniques because of their long association with other teachers. In addition, their attendance and various in-service training programs obviously improve their skills. In this connection, new teachers are usually requested by their school managers, if not by their subject supervisor, to observe senior outstanding teacher so that they may be able to acquire good techniques of teaching from them. Apparently, this strategy is commendable because senior outstanding teachers have much to offer to neophytes in the service. Techniques is different from strategy. Gaya nga na nasabi, maaaring gagamit tayo ng pare-parehong strategy, pero magkakaibang technique. Ang technique ay parang style, personality. So, meron tayong kanya-kanyang personalidad. So, meron tayong kanya-kanyang technique kung paano ituro yung lesson. And it's all about techniques. Now, let's have the next topic, which is despite of those approaches, strategies, and techniques, why students have poor performance and misbehave inside the class. These basic classroom concepts are essential to have an effective teaching learning situation. Basically, classroom management refers to the arrangement of classroom activities in order to facilitate teaching and learning. On the other hand, discipline refers to teacher actions and made necessary by students' misbehaviors that disrupt classroom activity. As perceived by experienced teachers and school officials, classroom management and disciplines are related since classroom, if properly managed by the teacher, results in good discipline or good behavior, will reveal. In order to obtain good classroom management, the school manager and the subject supervisor should inform the teachers to pay attention to things inside the classroom that may either promote good discipline or its opposite. In this connection, the following things should be given proper attention: ventilation of the room, seating arrangement, arrangement of equipments, cleanliness of the room, and routine activities. Regarding the last item, an important practice which the teacher should develop with his class at the start of the school year is to have a daily activities routinized, and unquestionably the students can help in this aspect. Routine activities such as entering and going out of the room, passing book materials, checking attendance, picking up pieces of paper, cleaning the board or the room, and other can be done with the students. The teacher and the students should recognize that routinizing some of the activities will result in improvement of conditions of the classroom, which make it better place for all of them. So, based from research, some of the common causes of misbehavior on the part of the students emanating from the poor classroom management. So, pag meron kang poor classroom management, these are the things that you can encounter now inside the class. Too kind or too terror. Pag sobrang bait, sobrang terror, maaaring magkaroon ng misbehavior ang mga estudyante. Too close to the students. Masyado kang close sa mga bata. Failure to meet their class on time. Mas maaga pang pumasok ang mga bata kaysa sa iyo. Employment of long dictation when printed materials can be done. Then failure to adopt a system of having every member of the class responsible for certain routinely activities. Inability to prepare the needed materials which should be ready at the time of the class begins. Very poor planning of activities, having to use one particular strategy most of the time, not paying attention to ventilation of the room and cleanliness, not knowing the names and characters of each student in the class, being a habitual nagger, lacking of sense of humor, having a voice that is not loud enough, exhibiting poor taste in personal appearance. So those are the different problems or common causes of misbehavior in the parts of the students because of the poor classroom management. Now, in view of the above, as a future teacher, what can you suggest in order to improve classroom management? So I will leave you that question. And in the end, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires, by William Arthur Ward. With that, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and share and like this video for more updates. Bye!